Hi there, so in this video we are going to be looking at the area of part circles. So at National 5 you'll be able to find the area of any random sector or size part of a circle. We are just focusing on halves, quarters and 3/4 again. So you should hopefully already be familiar with how to find the area of a full circle. A wee reminder, because this is what we're going to be using today, instead of quarters, halves and 3/4, we're going to be replacing them with these decimals that you should already know off by heart, okay? So worth copying down if you don't. So just a wee reminder, I've started to use that word sector. If you don't remember what that is, remember sector is a bit of a circle. It's like your pizza slice. So that's what we will call part of a circle now. It's just shorter to say a sector. So we are going to be finding the area of quarters, 3/4 and half circles, or semicircles as you may be aware of them being called. So let's look at my first example. I want the area of this semicircle. So it's a half circle. So the first thing I do is I'm going to alter my formula. So instead of area equals pi r squared, I'm just going to stick a half in front because it's a half circle. So it's a half pi r squared. So instead of a half, I'm going to do 0.5. Now that's my choice. If you're happy using the fraction button in your calculator, you could just put in a half, but I change it to a decimal. So we've got a half times pi is 3.14. Now your radius of this circle, please remember radius is just from the centre to the outside. So the radius is actually 3.5, not 7. So it's going to be times 3.5 squared. So into your calculator, you type all that, 0.5 times 3.14 times 3.5. Hit your x squared button, remember? And it gives you a big long number. We're going to do it to 2 decimal places. So it gives you 19.2325. Now if I cut that off to 2 decimal places, it means that 2 is not going to do anything to the 3. So I'm going to leave it as 0.23. And that is in centimetres, and we write squared at the end because it is area. So that is the area of that half circle. The alternative is you could just do 3.14 times 3.5 squared and then half your answer, but I like to do it in one go, save some work. Question 2, we have a quarter circle, so my formula becomes a quarter pi r squared. So we have a quarter pi r squared. A quarter gets replaced with 0.25, pi gets replaced with 3.14, and your radius, remember this is your radius because if I put in that full circle, that 5 is from the centre to outside, so we keep the 5 this time. So that's what you then type in. And that will give you an answer of 19.625. So 19.625. If I'm rounding that to 2 decimal places, what will that become? The 5 will change the 2, won't it? So that will become 19.63 square centimetres. And I'm just going to write that I did that to 2 decimal places. Okay? Question 3, we have 3/4 of a circle. So your formula becomes 3/4 pi r squared. Now we know that 3/4 is 0.75. If you don't, you should know a quarter treble is 75, so 0.75 times 3.14 for pi. Now your radius again, they have given us from the centre to the outside is 12, so we've already got the radius. So we type that in, and that should give you an answer of, it's already to 2 decimal places nicely, 339.12 square centimetres. So that's how to find the area of a quarter, a half and a 3/4 circle. It's just that wee alteration to your formula at the beginning, okay? Then we start to do some slightly harder questions. So we've got some composite shapes here. Composite just means 2 things stuck together. So we've got a rectangle and a semicircle. So my experience is always easier to start with a rectangle. A rectangle is length times breadth. So the area of this rectangle is just 8 times 7, which is 56. Our semicircle, I'm just going to draw that. It's quicker than writing it. Our semicircle is a half pi r squared, which will be a half times 3.14 times, now what's my radius? So if the base of the rectangle is 8, that means the top of the rectangle is 8. So my diameter is 8, I need half of that, I need 4. So my radius is 4. So when we type that in, we get an answer of 25.12. And then the last thing to do is get your total area, which is adding your 2 answers together, and it gives you 81.12 square centimetres. Okay, so split it up. Rectangle, because that's the easy bit. Semicircle, add the 2 together. My next one is one of these ones we've got to find the missing area. So I want the red area this time. So what we've really got here is we've got a red rectangle and it's got 3 semicircles cut out. So I'm going to start by finding the rectangle. Now this is a tricky bit actually. What is that missing dimension at the bottom of the rectangle? Well, they've told us that the height is 20, so that means my radius is 20. Now if your radius of a circle is 20, what's your diameter? That's right, your diameter is 40, so we've got 40, 40 and 40 there for the full length. So the length of the rectangle is 120. So the rectangle is 20 times 120, which is 2,400. The semicircle is half pi r squared. So we've got 0.5 times 3.14. Remember we said the radius was 20 because that was that bit there from top to bottom. So times 20 squared. So we've got a half times 3.14 times 20 squared, and that gives us 628. So the red area, the shaded area, would have been your rectangle. And I'm just going to use it in pictures. Rectangle, take away 3 of those semicircles. So you've got 2,400, take away 3 lots of 628, which gives you an answer of 516 square centimetres left over. Okay, so those ones are tricky, but I like those ones because there's a wee bit of problem solving to do at the start. So, what we have here, 9 questions. First 6 are your straightforward ones, okay? 7, 8 and 9 are your more problem-solving ones where you've got to find the shaded areas. And then I've got 3 more where it is the composite shapes. Just worth noting question 12 here. Basically, the method for that one is get the area of the big half circle, which is the kind of the blue one, and then the area of the little white one, and then you'll take them away, right? Because that's what's happened. It's been like a bite taken out the half circle. So try the questions, pause, unpause. Your answers will be coming up as well. So there's answers for all 12 questions there, okay? Thanks very much.